Everyone, thank you for joining our session tonight. We are here in the U.S. Gulf Force, and we have the 4th of July weekend, our Independence Day weekend. So a lot of people are away on vacations, except for you, who have nothing else to do here. Okay, I'm glad you're all here. Let's continue with Master Shenhua's instructions during this Chanchi here. We are on slide 257. He talked about Hinayana and Mahayana in the background. Is that there was a Ceylon, a Sri Lankan monk, a novice actually, he's not a monk yet, who came to see him and asked him about Mahayana. He wanted to study Mahayana, and Master Shenhua this is his response to him and to his students back then. So he continued to say, he says that for the distinction between Hinayana or small vehicle and Mahayana, which is big vehicle, what is the difference? A small vehicle, they were the first ones to receive the Buddha's teachings. The Buddha, when he started teaching the Buddha Dharma, he lectured on the Agama Sutra. Agama is Sanskrit that means wubi, meaning that incomparable Dharma, meaning that it is, there's no comparison against the existing dharmas. The existing dharmas, meaning non-Buddhist dharmas. It is in India, you remember, and there were a lot of Indian teachers, gurus, and so forth. And the Indians, when they saw the Buddha, they requested the Dharma from him, so the Buddha started teaching. And that teaching period is called the Agama period, or the Agama teachings, and that's the very beginning. And so this is what Master Shenhua is referring to. And so this is how you can tell small vehicle or Hinayana. Actually, some Hinayana practitioners get offended when we call them Hinayana. And they said that's derogative to them, which shows that they still don't understand Hinayana. If you really understand Hinayana, you can insult them. They would not be bothered at all, let alone to complain and whine and complain about why you call us Hinayana. We get offended by that. You can call me anything, I won't get offended if you really understand Hinayana. All right? So anyway, so that's the Agama is a teaching. And usually you can tell the Agama from Agama is Sanskrit, but you can tell that the Hinayana teaching, because it's available, the texts are based on Pali. That's a language that they used to transcribe the Buddha's teachings, and then they was used to spread to the Hinayana regions of the world. Whereas Mahayana, next one, and after that period, let me finish the sentence. And Mahayana, in contrast, the Mahayana texts are based on the Sanskrit language. All right? Yeah. So that's a difference, typically, which is a lot more complete. The Sanskrit store of the Buddha Dharma has both the Hinayana Dharma, the Agama period, Vaipulya Sutras, the Prajna Sutras, and Dharma Flower, Mahaparinirvana Sutras as well. Okay? And again, that's again the distinctive characteristics is the language, Sanskrit language. Okay? And so that's how you can tell the different style of Buddhist teachings. And there's also, of course, Tibetan language and so forth. But For we learned from a Chinese, we inherited the Chinese Dharma, Mahayana Dharma from China. So that's why we consider, we don't study much about the Tibetan style of Buddhism, which I feel is between Hinayana and Mahayana. Not quite Mahayana yet, but more Hinayana's tendencies. Okay, next slide, 259. The propagation of Mahayanas were comparatively faster, unlike Hinayana, which is much slower. I don't know about the historical facts. It doesn't. It seems to me it's more geographic than speed. Okay, because it's just that these people chose to go to certain areas of the world to propagate the Buddha Dharma. And of course, if you are knowledgeable and you practice Mahayana, you will be a little bit better, more knowledgeable, stronger in samadhi and so forth. And therefore, you can do more. Hinayana is small vehicle, meaning you can do a limited amount of propagation, whereas Mahayana means you are doing great propagation of the Dharma, and that's why, of course, it's faster and it's much broader. All right? And now he brings back to this point here. Yesterday, I also asked this novice Hinayana monk from Sri Lanka, since you know that Hinayana propagation was slow, while Mahayana was a lot more widespread. Okay, why was it? And the monk, of course, said he didn't know. He was Hinayana. How would he know about Mahayana? And therefore, Master Shenhua said, since you didn't know, let me tell you. It's because Hinayana is stubborn. In other words, it is a type of conservativeness. Okay, 一种保守, very conservative. He's being polite. Hinayana is stubborn. When you study Buddhism and you labeled as stubborn, then actually you lack wisdom. If you ask me, my personal opinion is that Buddhism is the philosophy of wisdom, about human wisdom. If you have wisdom, you are, first of all, your body is more flexible, and your mind is also a lot more malleable as compared to Hinayana. Hinayana's bodies are stiffer, you see, the way they walk, and then the way they smile. Okay? Whereas Mahayana, look at Master Shenhua. Okay? The range of motions, the range of emotions are so much bigger. The smile, all the comportment of a monk, a full comportment of a monk, not always stiff. You know, I am in samadhi, therefore I don't move, I don't smile, only I don't laugh. Because it's not cool for me to laugh. I'm supposed to be different from you. If that's wisdom, let me ask you, why are you so stiff? Why are you so limited in range? Okay? It's because you're attached to being different. Okay? And this is, I say that because I don't know much, and therefore you shouldn't take whatever I say too seriously. But I look at the Master Shenhua versus a lot of, I compare him against a lot of monks and sunims and so forth, and Fa Shi and Ting Shi, you name it. And I compare and I say, wow, my master is the only one who is what? How would you describe him? Have you watched his videos? Anyone? Oh, never mind. I forgot. You don't do that. Huh? Anyone watch his videos? No one? Say, what? You only watch my video? No, that's entertainment. You should learn the Buddha Dharma, not entertainment. You have a clip of Master Shinwa video? Can we play it on so that people can see how he speaks Dharma? No? Okay. Never mind. Huh? Yeah, YouTube. It's Anyway, so it's not stubborn, okay? It is conservative and it is rigid. It's not stubborn at all. I don't agree with him in Guchu. Guchu is like they lack wisdom. No, it's just they have limited range. For them, it's safer to be within that range than outside of the range. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, that's not Master Shinhua. Seriously? It's not copyrighted, right? Okay. Oh no, you chose one that he's dying. So. Yeah, with the cane, he's dying. He couldn't even walk. And he needs to steady himself to the cane. Oh, look at how young, what's his name? Huh? Oh, the truthful one, yeah. God, he looks...
People who like sweet flavors have no basis in criticizing those who prefer bitter flavors. Because the person who likes...
No, he's a full range. I want a full range of emotions. Now he's dying, and I'm not interested in dying people. You can't show that much? Okay, forget it. Okay, anyway, the point here is that I like Master Shinhua because I'm American educated, so I like the full range of emotions, of movements, and so forth. Yes, he has samadhi, but samadhi in movement, whereas Hinayana is only samadhi in stillness, in stiffness, if you will. Okay? That's the difference, folks. The more you practice, the more you get beyond the Hinayana range of samadhi, then you understand what I'm talking about. Okay? So it's not stubborn, actually it's stiff. They're very stiff, mentally and physically. All right? That's my assessment of the Hinayana practitioners. Okay? And type of conservativeness, yes, they're very conservative, meaning it's the stiffness here and the conservativeness is that they have this fear, I feel, there's this innate fear of making a mistake. All right? On the other hand, 263, Mahayana is a kind of expedient Dharma, is open and bright, expansive and clear, and enlightening. Okay. It's beautiful comparison. Hinayana, stiff, conservative. Mahayana, you cannot teach Mahayana unless you use expedience. all the Mahayana teachings are expedience. It's nothing that's not an expedient. So Master Shinoa said what he says here is 100% accurate. This is why he has so much wisdom. Because, let me remind you again, okay? The Buddhas, when he taught people, when he was alive, he only used expedience. Master Shinoa, when he was alive, he was only using expedience. All right? So that's why he says, this is a man who understands what it takes to teach Mahayana. You need to use expedience. All right? Someday you understand. I want you to remember that. This man here, he knows what he's talking about. He knows he's a great master. That's why he's a great monk. That's why he's the only one, by the way, that I feel that understands Mahayana so much that it's not surprising that most of his peers were afraid of him. And you could say that jealous, they feel insecure, maybe not jealous, but insecure. Lots of them feel jealous, okay, because he knows so much, he's so powerful, but certainly insecure, okay? And that's why very few people, even including his predecessor, Great Master Xu Yun, okay? Look at Master Xu Yun. Master Xu Yun is always has his eyes closed, and he's always stiff. And that's still, it's only because Master Xu Yun does not understand about expedience yet. He's beginning to use expedience, but he doesn't understand yet. Okay? That's the difference, folks. And the point being very important is that even Master Xu Yun, who had great wisdom, he's an 8th ground Bodhisattva, and he used some expedience, but he's not very good at expedience. That's why he chooses to be stiff. Most 8th ground Bodhisattvas are pretty stiff. Most 8 and below are pretty stiff. Okay? Anyway, see who else over there. I can't think of any people who's flexible. They're all very inflexible. Kind of expedient Dharma, you need to use expedience, okay? It is 你方便法就是开明, okay? 开明. It is I don't know what 开明 means. Could you help me in Chinese, please? What does it mean, 开明? I know each word, but I don't know the combination, the meaning of the pair.
It's generally referring to someone who's very open-minded.
Open-minded. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Open and understanding. I don't quite agree with open and bright as the explanation.
Okay. So Kai is Kai is to be open. Okay? Ming is to be clear. It's not bright, but clear. Open and clear. Can we change it? It's not stiff. No, I only stay here. You can't come in. Okay? You stay there. I'm here. There's a distance. You can't come in here. Okay? That's why it's not open. Okay? And clear. 3 people fixing it? Wow, this talking about the incredible manpower behind this thing here. Wow. I'm so proud of you. 3 people fooling around with it. Kai Ming, this is interesting. It's the first time I heard of this, just like you. I didn't even remember this last night, but now I have to explain it. I have to try to understand it. It's interesting, it's fascinating to me. First of all, I like the fact he says expedient. So this man here knows what it takes to teach, first of all. Number 2, he says, when I teach, what is it I need to come across to people? I need to come across to others like I am Kai Ming, okay? Meaning I'm open, I have nothing to hide, and I'm very clear. When I say to you, very clear. No possible misinterpretations. Okay? Yes, 4.
Hello, Master. Does bright already include clear?
No, Kai is open.
Minh, sáng?
No, Kai is more, I open up.
Because for me,
And I know I'm very clear. I express myself very clearly. Okay? It's open up. It's not open. It's open up. To Kai here, in the Chinese word, it has many meanings, but here I look at Kai Ming, means that I want you to understand Kai Ming. When he says here, I see it as Kai as I'm open. Okay? And Ming is that I'm very clear. I make no mistakes about it. I'm very clear about these things. So it's about that he's fearless. You're open because you have no fear. Okay? Ming is that I'm very bright. I explain myself very, very clearly. Okay? Okay. What happened to the rest? There's more adjectives. You took it out? That's it? Okay. Okay. So this is very, very interesting. Okay. Meaning that in order, pay attention. If you aspire to be a teacher, and you want to look at teachers, and this is Mahayana teacher. The teachers use a lot of expedience. When you use a lot of expedience, there's an assumption here. An assumption here that you have prajna, wisdom. If you don't have prajna, wisdom, you cannot use expedience. Is that clear? And you need to have prajna, wisdom. Before you have prajna, wisdom, you open your wisdom. Even after you have prajna, wisdom, you still need to learn a lot before you can use expedience. So, for example, as you become enlightened, you get to a higher level of enlightenment, and then certain levels you become more erudite. You learn a lot. Okay, for example, what people don't realize is that when we talk about enlightenment, we have different levels of enlightenment because those are the building blocks of eventually you being able to use expedience. This is what most people in Mahayana don't understand. They think it's the same enlightenment. No, enlightenment has many, many building blocks. Okay? And when you reach a certain level, when you're ready, that's when you will be taught to use expedience based on the foundation that you built beforehand. Does it help? He said the world of this, their world is very, very fascinating. Okay? And so Master Shinhua says, this is why if you really want to teach Mahayana, you need to be a certain level. And because Master Shinhua sets his stamps here, he puts his stamps here, he says, you want Mahayana, you want to teach Mahayana, you need to use experience. And I'm just filling the blanks for you. In order for you to use experience, you need to prepare for it. You need to learn. You need to be knowledgeable enough to be able to use experience. Experience is not arbitrary. It's profound knowledge. Okay? Shh. Just listen to the other teachers, you see. Wei Mao.
Master, I have a question about that toward timing. Can we see it as the impact of experience to enlighten people?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Can we see the toward timing as an impact of an experience to enlighten people?
I don't understand the question. Explain
Can we
yourself.
see the two timing? Can we see it as the impact of an experience to enlighten people?
I don't understand.
It has the impact. It has the effectiveness to enlighten people.
Can you use English?
It has the effectiveness of enlightening people.
What
That's
did you
the
say?
impact of an experience.
What did I just tell you? You want to teach, you have to use experience. In Mahayana, the only way to teach is through experience. Shh. It's not books, it's not knowledge, it is experience. See, before you can use experience, for example, you need to learn about the scriptures, you need to learn about sutras, you need to recite sutras, you need to do mantras, you need to do ceremonies and so forth. All those are the building blocks, your foundation, so that later, with all that knowledge, you'll be able to use experience to employ all those things.
Master, what I meant here is to work here, timing, to describe the characteristic of an experience. It has the impact of enlightening people. Can we understand it that way?
You need translation? Why don't you ask in Vietnamese? Your English is totally unclear.
I will say in Vietnamese. Ở đây mình có thể hiểu được hai cái từ khai minh đó như là một cái đặc tính của cái phương tiện, là nó giúp làm cho cái người khác được giác ngộ.
Come again.
Hai cái từ khai minh này có thể hiểu như là cái đặc tính của cái phương tiện giúp cho người khác được giác ngộ. Có thể hiểu như hai từ khai minh ở trong nghĩa đó hay không?
Anyone help me out? I don't know what he's talking about. Spell it out. Yeah, ông thầy già. One.
Cái phương tiện là con thấy chẳng hạn như ngày Thận Quang đó, cái tâm Ngài rất là loạn, Ngài rất muốn khùng luôn á. Mà tại vì trước Ngài là một người tướng, Ngài đi giết người rất là nhiều người trong trận mạc, ám ảnh hoài, cho nên khi Ngài gặp Bồ Đề Đạt Ma đó, Ngài quỳ ở phía sau. Thì Ngài Bồ Đề Ma hỏi ông làm cái gì? Nói tôi cầu Pháp. Nói con tâm con không an. Thì Ngài Đẹp Ngai mới đưa đây tâm an, tá an cho. Thì Ngài thằng Quang nói: dạ thưa Tổ, con tìm không được. Thì Tổ mới hỏi: tìm không được sao ông nói nó ám ảnh ông? Thì từ đó Ngài Thần Quang ngộ, thì cái đó theo con nghĩ là một cái phương tiện. Và thứ hai, Đại thừa mình có cái pháp, chẳng mấy bữa rồi có cái pháp mà niệm Phật. Cách đây khoảng 4-5 ngày mình đang niệm Phật. Thì cái người quay nô quýnh cái chuông. Thì quý vị nhớ là mình ngừng rất là lâu. Sau tiếng chuông ngưng thì mình ngừng khoảng 5 phút, 10 phút gì đó, mới đứng dậy đi tiếp cái vòng thứ hai, thứ ba. Thì cái tiếng chuông nó quýt cái bum một cái thì cái tâm con nó an, nó trống lỏng trong suốt mấy phút, 5 phút, 10 phút gì đó. Thì Đại thừa mình có cái pháp niệm Phật. Và cái cách chư Tổ sáng chế ra cái cách mình niệm và gõ chuông như vậy cũng là cái phương tiện để chỉ cho hành giả thấy cái tâm của mình nó trống như thế nào. Cũng như Ngài vừa qua chỉ cho Ngài Thần Quang thấy cái tâm của ông nó ảo vọng mà ông nghĩ là thật. Đưa đây tại sao ông nói nó không thật, mà sao ông nói nó ám ảnh ông? Ông kia ngộ liền. Thì cái tiếng chuông của mình mấy bữa nay trong Phật thất cũng như trong Phật thất, người quay nô gõ một cái thì nó, con nghĩ là gần 10 phút mình ngồi im vậy đó, không có gì hết. Thì cái tiếng chuông, tiếng niệm Phật đó là một cái phương tiện để khai cho hành giả thấy cái tâm sáng của mình nó tự nhiên, nó có sẵn như vậy. Người tiểu thừa không có cách đó. Hoặc là người có cái pháp chẳng hạn mấy Tổ, thí dụ cái chân tâm mình giống như mặt biển nó phẳng lặng vậy đó. Rồi do cái duyên mình khởi lên này kia thì giống như sóng vậy. Sóng với nước là một, Phật với chúng sanh là một, với tâm là một. Giờ khởi vọng tưởng lên hình như sóng vậy thôi, mà sóng cũng từ nước ra. Thì cái đó cũng là một phương tiện. Xin hết. Tự mình biết.
Hello, Master. So,
What is it with you in WMT? You hello, Master. I'm gonna whisper to you. Come on. Speak clearly. Khai Ming, open and clear. What is this with you Vietnamese people? Hello, Master.
Expedient to me is like Venerable Sheng Quang. Back then, his mind is very, very scattered. He's to the point he's going crazy because back then he was a general in the war and he killed a lot of people. So later on, he met with Master Bodhidharma. He knew in front of him for 9 years, and later on, Master Bodhidharma taught him, and Venerable Sheng Quang say that his mind is hurt, he's hurting, and Master Bodhidharma say, bring out your mind, and then I will calm it down. And he say that there's no mind. So then Master Bodhidharma say, I already calmed your mind. So in this anecdote, we see that the experience we use in Mahayana, this is just one way. And so 3 or 4 or 5 days ago, we've been reciting the Buddha name, and you see that Wayno, when he hit the bell, and we stop for 5 minutes for silent recitation. At that time, my mind become empty and very peaceful. And Mahayana has a lot of way, and one way is reciting the Buddha name, and how we hit the bell. It's just like the patriarch use expedience with using drum and bell and all of the Dharma instrument to teach us for us to see how our mind is empty and clear. Just like Bodhidharma said that the mind is not there, then how does it cause you problem? So when I hear the Weno hit the bell, my body sit there and there's nothing in there. It is also an experience for the practitioner to see. But Hinayana, they don't have that kind of experience. So another example is the patriarch saying that our true mind is just like a water, the surface of the water, when it is no wave, flat out. Our mind and the Buddha minds are the same, but then living being strike up a thought, so the wave come in, and then, but the wave is still belong to the water itself. That's all.
It doesn't help me. Someone help me. What is XZ is talking about? What is he asking? It's not clear to me. Give me an example. I don't even know what he's asking about. Not in English, not in Vietnamese. I know my Vietnamese is not that good, but this is weird. I don't understand the question at all. Give me an example. What are you asking about?
I cannot think of an example right now, but like
you can say in Vietnamese. I can't care less. Say something that I can understand. I don't understand what you're asking about. It doesn't make sense. Can you learn to express yourself in simpler terms that everyone can understand? What do you want to know? Give me an example. Don't give me a principle. Give me an example. I see this person who has a flat nose but blonde hair, who says, I don't believe in Buddhism. How do I help her? Is that what you're asking about? What is it? Give me an example. If you cannot give me the principle, give me an example. You understand? In Buddhism, you have two ways to talk. Talk principle to people who really understand principles, who are learned, and the other people, the other way is talk about specifics, examples. For example, I have a son who's 6 years old. He's lazy. How can I use experience to help him? Give me a straight example. What are you talking about?
Con có thể cho cái ví dụ như trong trường hợp mà Đức Phật đưa cái hoa sen lên, Ngài Ca Diếp mỉm cười mà thọ được cái tâm pháp của Đức Phật, thì cái phương tiện của Đức Phật đưa lên là cái bông hoa sen, thì nhờ cái phương tiện đó mà nó các tác dụng khai minh cái tâm của Ngài Ca Diếp, Ngài Diếp trước được giác ngộ. Thì cái đó là một cái đặc tính của cái phương tiện được sử dụng, là cái tác dụng khai ngộ cho cái người hành giả.
So is there a question or is it a statement?
It's my question. Is that two word khai minh there? Cái hai cái từ khai minh đó có phải là có mang cái ý nghĩa là làm cho cái hành giả được giác ngộ hay không?
You have to be very clear. What you talked about in Vietnamese is that he says, the Buddha, when he was speaking Dharma, okay, he held a flower in his hand and raised it, and Mahakasyapa had a faint smile on his face. Okay, so apparently the Buddha is using the flower as an expedient to teach something to Mahayana. That is not a question. It's a statement. Be very clear in your head. What do you want to say? What do you want to ask? You cannot be shy about this.
Trong cái trường hợp này thì tại vì khi mình dịch hai cái chữ khai minh đó thì nó có cái tác dụng, có nghĩa để thầy nói là tác dụng là mở và
okay, now you see, you should start with that. Master, I'm not clear about open and clear. wait, doesn't sound good. I'm not clear about open and clear. But let me be open about this. What is the matter with you? You have to speak your mind. I'm not clear about open and clear. Am I correct in understanding that when the Buddha used his flower to teach Mahayana, is that being open and clear as part of an expedient? You have to spell it out. You cannot assume that I understand you and I can read your mind. I can't. Your mind is so convoluted. But very clear. Okay. Now I understand the question. Master, I don't quite understand about open and clear. Is it necessary or is it part of the expedient? Or something like that. Does it help? No, I still don't understand him. I want to ask about open and clear. Begin with that. If you want to ask me a question, Master, I'm not clear about this. Would you mind explaining that to me again? You don't want to waste my time. You don't want to waste a chance and the assembly's time and asking unclear questions. If you ask unclear questions, I refuse to answer you. I make fun of you, and I will wait until that's part of the teaching. You have to express yourself more clearly. It's that simple. We are in America. This is not Vietnam. This is not China. You have to spell it out very clearly in this culture. I don't understand open and clear. I'm not quite sure I understand. Can we draw on this a little bit more to help me? Does it help?
Con muốn hỏi thực ra không phải hai cái chữ open and clear, nhưng mà hỏi about a different translation of those two words. It's about enlightening. That's the last part of the third option from the beginning. So because I'm just talking about an experience right now. It's not about the whole Mahayana. So I'm asking about the effectiveness of experience. In this case, for example, this flower that the Buddha used. Is that an experience? It's an experience. But then the effectiveness of that flower is to enlighten Mahakasyapa. So in that case, the characteristic of the flower is enlightening. That's my question.
The flower is enlightening? What does it mean the flower is enlightening?
It has the impact to enlighten Mahakasyapa.
Okay, yes, in the back.
Are you saying that the expedient...
No one is clear about what you want to ask.
The effect... I think Master Z could be saying that, this is my take, that the impact, he's trying to say the result, the result of experience could use open and clear to describe the result of experience. Is that what you're trying to say, Master Z?
Yeah, I think the result of the experience will make the person who received the experience to become enlightened.
Okay.
He's trying to say it could be a description, like describing the result of the experience, of having experience. Can I add something?
No, I understand now. Don't confuse me.
Can I say something about Kaiming too?
Yeah, go ahead, say something.
So Kaiming is actually a common term that we use when we talk. So to say somebody is Kaiming is generally saying somebody is open-minded. I know that when we translate, we like to break apart. So it's actually a phrase. So if you look up in a Chinese dictionary, Kaiming means open-minded. Someone is progressive, open-minded, generally very open about things. So I think the Ming here is more understanding, more than Ming Bai, rather than to interpret it as brightness and clear is it's not Guangming, it's not brightness, it's more understanding in this context.
Yes, that's correct. You are correct. Let me explain to you. After half an hour, I exaggerate a little. I understand where he's getting at. And I'm not sorry I yelled at him. I yelled at him because he's scared to contradict me. Master Shenhua, when he talked like this, he says, Hinayana, first of all, is rigid. And it's conservative. Okay? Whereas Mahayana, what's the opposite of rigid or stubborn? Is expedience. And what's conservative is Kaiming. Can you see the pattern now, huh? XZ? You see? You missed that. You're correct. If he didn't say, you're not wrong. If you didn't say that, he didn't say by Hinayana first, you can see if he said, Mahayana is a kind of expedient, never mind Hinayana, okay? Drop Hinayana for now. If he simply says Mahayana is a kind of expedient Dharma, it is to open and to make it clear for people. Okay? You have a point there. But you don't have to be afraid to contradict me. Because if you're afraid, I beat you up right away. See, he struggled with, he says, I'm going to contradict Master, I'm going to embarrass Master in front of everyone. And guess what? I embarrass him in front of everyone. You're not embarrassing me. See your attachment? You don't need to be afraid to contradict me. Women contradict me all the time. You know how stupid they are? They contradict me. They don't care. Be like a man. Don't be like a woman. This guy is afraid to hurt my feelings and hurt my reputation. I have no reputation. I can't care less about my reputation. Master Shenhua's disciple ruined my reputation already. It's too late. Okay? You understand the pair now? He's doing contrast. This is what he does very often. He talks about Hinayana and Mahayana. So this Kaiming here, open and clear here, is in contrast to conservativeness. This is how I explain it. Do you agree? Chicken. Just say, hey, I'm not sure, Master. I forgive me, but I disagree with you. I won't beat you up. I say, you're so stupid, that's all. Okay? Spell it out. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to speak nonsense. Just speak your mind. Come on, folks. I'm teaching you to be straightforward. If you think it, speak it. Don't worry about being right and wrong. That's for sissies. I am so afraid I'm be wrong. People will judge me, especially girls who would, look down upon me. I have some guts. Nacho here? Come on, man. Laugh at me, abuse me, ridicule me. Who cares? I'm a man. I can take it. Okay. Is it clear now? Okay. He's right when he says if you do by that, he's right up to a certain point, but this is why, let's take his case. would you like me to explain to him if it were no Hinayana here? And he says Mahayana is only a kind of expedient Dharma, open and clear. Okay? Then, first of all, as I said, I would have explained it, translated it differently. Mahayana is all expedience. Okay? It is to open and to make it clear for you. Open your mind and make it clear for you. But it's not what it means in a Chinese language. Okay? And even that statement is incorrect, because the kind of experience is not to open your mind at all. It's not to explain to you at all. Sometimes, to cite an example, sometimes you use experience to confuse you and to make you more close-minded. That's why it's called experience, folks. You got it, see? Experience that it's not, you will not see the results immediately, often. You have to use experience. You know, for example, okay, you teach a child. A child is very stubborn. He's not going to listen. Okay? So, you're going to make him more stubborn by butting heads with him. That's one way. One kind of experience is that you're going to win. You think you want to butt heads with me? Let's butt heads and see who's going to get hurt. So he's going to confuse him temporarily. Get that? So it's not always open. It's not always to make it clear. Experience is multidimensional. You never can tell what they are up to. Never. Because it's the same thing. A smile, a flower held up, okay? It means different things to different people. And the sutras only chose to explain it from Mahakashyapa's perspective. But for another person, maybe low level of Mahakashyapa, then they look at the Buddha holding up flowers. Wow, Buddha also likes flowers. He's going to bring more flowers to the temple tomorrow. That's another lesson. I want to adorn the Buddha, the way place, because the Buddha seems to like flowers. You see that? It has many dimensions, multiple messages. Cannot be one for everyone. That's why it's called expedient. That flower there means different things to different people. Does it help? Expedient is that you never know what they're up to. Never. You never can tell why they're doing it. So for you, I will teach you finally one point for all of you. For you to try to think that you can understand the Buddha's intention, you're wrong. Flat out. Experience is only for that person, directed at that person, and it's not always helping that person. Or could help that person. So that's why it's called experience. Experience, you never can tell. You can never predict. You can never say that the flower is for helping people enlighten. That would be nonsense. Does it help? Okay. Anyone else would like to be embarrassed? Yes, YouTube. Why? YouTube, go ahead.
Thank you, Master. Sophia Gu has a question. Master, can you explain what an expedient is? what would not be considered an expedient as well? Thank you.
Expedience, let me explain to you. Expedience is not for you. It's for enlightened people. Do not ever think and you go home and talk and yell at your father and say, I'm using expedience to help my father. As I said, let me make it clear for you. You have to be enlightened, and then you have to be taught for a long time before you're ready to be taught expedience. You're not even enlightened. You're not anywhere near it. You're so far away from it. So there's no need to learn about expedience. It's just a concept in Mahayana for you to understand. There's a wide range of how we teach the people. That's all you need to know right now. Okay, next. Okay. In Hinayana Buddhism, it is said Hinayana Buddhism is true, Mahayana Buddhism is good. Okay. What's so funny? Okay? English. Let me translate into English for you. The Hinayana people, they say that Hinayana Buddhism is true. Does it sound, is that what it means in Chinese? Are Chinese people? Hey, Mama. Oh, she's struggling. Okay? Whereas Mahayana people, the Hinayana Buddhists, I'm going too fast, even the correction people can't. The Hinayana Buddhists, quickly! Liang is here. There's an H missing. The Hinayana Buddhists. Another S. Okay. They say the Buddhism, Hinayana, is true. Whereas Mahayana Buddhists, Mahayana Buddhists, this is where Master Shinhua's Chinese is not that clear. I may clarify it for him. Whereas the Mahayana Buddhists, they say, I need to recruit more English-speaking people. Whereas the Mahayana Buddhists, they say that Mahayana Buddhism is it's not good. Is, just drop the good. Okay? Here's what it says. What he's meaning to say is that if you follow Hinayana, you follow Tibetan, you follow of Sri Lanka, you follow Chinese, Japanese, whatever, then you all are claiming that your religion is true. Ask the Korean Sunims, Don't you know, weren't you taught that Korean Buddhism is a true Buddhism? Yeah? No, not this one. This one doesn't know anything. Anyone else? You understand? The Vietnamese Buddhism says only Vietnamese Buddhism is the true Buddhism. Chinese says Chinese Buddhism is true, Chinese Buddhism. Not just Hinayana, it's just Mahayana. It's all of you have that kind of attitude. Only Vietnamese Buddhism is true. Only Chinese Buddhism is true. I'm claiming American Buddhism is the truest. Okay? You're wrong. And that's what he's saying. Everyone is claiming what they know, what they teach, they practice is true. So far, so good. This is what he's saying. Do you agree with me, Chinese-speaking people? You agree with everything I say. You see, and that's what he's saying next. See, I don't have to know this because I understand what he's talking about. He's talking about everyone is claiming they know Buddhism, and only their Buddhism is true. That's why the Koreans try to come here and try to teach us about Buddhism. And then someone asked me to go back to Vietnam to teach Vietnamese true Buddhism. Are you kidding? Okay? No. They all are true there. You go to Korea, you have to say this Korean Buddhism is true. You go to Vietnam, Korean and Vietnamese Buddhism is true, and so forth. You cannot say they're wrong. I'm here to teach you. They're going to throw you out. Right, old monk? Okay? So, but he says, yes, Korean person.
와서 죄송한데 이전 슬라이드에 대해서 질문이 있고요. 질문 첫 번째는 배너 오브 XP에게 있고 질문 하나는 마스터께 있습니다. 네.
Master, I'm sorry, but I have a question about the prior slide, and I have two questions. One question is I want to ask to Venerable XP, and another one is to Master.
This one? Which slide? Which one? Hey, woman.
바로 이전 슬라이드요.
Which one?
바로 첫 번.
Okay.
네.
Okay. Another one who wants to be beaten up.
그러니까 첫 번째 배너 오브 XP에게 질문이 있는 거는 이게 지금 클리어라고 되어 있는데 한국말로 융통성이라고 되어 있으면 이게 미스매치가 아닌가요, 현보스님? 네. 그러니까 만약에 이거 영어 그대로라면 개방적 또는 명료.
So in the Korean translation, it says in English it says open and clear, but Korean translation it says open and flexible. So she's saying, doesn't it has to be changed to clear? 네, 그래서
Honey, I can't help you in Korean.
네, 그래서 제가 배너 오브 XP께 질문을 한 거고요. 네, 네.
It's not possible to help you.
그다음에 이제 마스터께 질문해도 될까요?
Now can I ask Master?
I can't help you.
그럼 안 할게요.
Not in
then
Korean.
I won't do it.
I never studied Korean. Sorry. Don't ask me about Korean. Okay?
네. 나중에 그 한국어 통역을 수정해 주신다고 했고요. 그거는 네.
I refer you to Sanguk Sunim. You can trust her translation. Okay? I don't know Korean, so I can't help you. But thank you for pointing it out. Sanguk Sunim, please verify this and talk to her. Okay? Yeah, talk to her. Okay, you got that? Okay, in this doctrine, so that's what I'm talking about. Oh God, he says, in principle, I don't know. Anyway, I live. in principle, I mean, in my Mahayana. But he doesn't say in my Mahayana, he says actually in principle or Mahayana principle is, okay, but he says 教理上 meaning from my perspective, how I look at the Mahayana principles, okay? Is it clear, Chinese people? Is that how you read it? That's how I see it. I don't need to be Chinese. I can understand what he's getting at. He says, you guys are discriminating so much. You're too Vietnamese, too Chinese, too Korean, too, too. Okay? So he says, actually, it's not Hinayana, Mahayana. That's why in principle or from my perspective, okay? In the Buddhist principles, why not are we not in slideshow? Are you waiting to be corrected? No, I'm not going to correct this. There's nothing that is true or not true. It's not how, it's not good, it's nothing. There's no Buddhism, meaning is nothing. There's no Buddhism that is true nor not true. And of course, you can't blame the translator because this is all they have. But this is Master Yuanhua. He's not that clear. He's open, but he's not that clear. You're having too much fun with me making fun of my teacher. Okay? So there's no, there's nothing that is not true, nor is it. There is nothing that's true, nor is it untrue. Yes, Wei Mao. God, you're keeping me busy.
Master, but then later on he said it like yen mấy dầu na cờ chân and then na ika sucha. It's right there. It's the second verse.
Excuse me. What are you talking about?
Master, in the slide that you corrected.
Excuse me, I can't hear you. Can you speak up a little?
Hello. Hello, Master. In the slideshow that.
Yeah, talk like a man. Clearly.
In the last verse, it say that there's nothing that is true, nothing that is false. Is that is already included in the second verse that you just said? But the first one, he was talking about whether it is good or it is bad.
Where do you learn how to contradict me? What's the matter with you? You're translating. You're not supposed to be relaxed. Master, I'm so relaxed. I'm just translating, but I maintain my relaxedness. You have to be aware of where you are and what you're doing. What do you think you're doing? You're going to kill me one of these days. Pretty soon my hair will be as white as Yong's hair. Look at his hair. I mean, God, look at that. Who wants to be a hair like that? You only have hair like this, by the way, because your wife drives you crazy. And you can't solve it. You know that? Yeah. The white hair, let me tell you, the white hair is because you have the heart issues that cannot be solved. There's very famous stories where there is a general who ran away because he lost the battle, okay? And then he stayed overnight at this inn here, this inn in China, and he stayed up all night and said, "Ow, how am I going to save my king? How am I going to save my country? Okay? I'm boring you clearly. And then he stayed up all night. In the morning, he walked out for breakfast, and his lieutenant said, "What happened to your hair? Your hair is all white." Are we translating for her, or are we just ignoring her, the poor woman? You just say, okay. Okay. So, and so what he says is that, there's no Buddhism. No Buddhism is not true, nor not untrue. And actually, there is no true nor no untrue. So double negation here. So Buddhism untrue or true, there is no such thing, including the fact the word true or untrue are not even. There's so many movements around here. Yeah, all jumping around. What is it? There's so restlessness. This is a Chanchi, folks. You're supposed to stay and be adorned and unmoving. So many distractions. That's why I can't do anything today. Okay? Does it help? So what he's talking about, when you hear someone saying that my Buddhism is true, only Korean Buddhism is true, Vietnamese Buddhism is true, American Buddhism is true, there's not such a thing. There's no such a thing as true American Buddhism or untrue American Buddhism. Okay? True Hinayana and untrue Mahayana, or true Mahayana and untrue Hinayana. There's no such a thing. Take a break. And your hair says it all. We make fun of everyone, by the way, okay? It's nothing personal. You don't understand it. I'm making fun of you, but I'm not making fun of you. Just kidding. Okay? So even the word true or untrue is not there. Hinayana, Mahayana is not even that important. Does it help? Don't be attached to words. That's what he's saying. The Hinayana said, my Hina. Why? Yeah, you're right. Lower the temperature. The guy's sweating like crazy. It's hurting. Now I understand now. There's so many things going on. I don't know how I can keep everything, keep track of everyone now. He's wearing t-shirt, he's sweating like crazy. Tough kid. Yeah. Okay. Got that? It's nothing whatsoever. There's no true, no untrue, no Hinayana, no Mahayana. That's what Master Showa is saying. From his perspective, it's no Hinayana, it's no Mahayana. Don't even bother discussing what's true, what's untrue. Okay? Thus, the Dharma is level and equal with the highs and lows. Okay? And that's why he says, from Mahayana perspective, all Buddha Dharma, okay, including non-Buddha Dharma, is level and equal. It's not just Maya, it's not Buddhism, folks. When I learned this, I thought it's Buddhism. All Buddhism is level and equal. Actually, he says, all Dharma, the Dharma here, okay, is not necessarily only Buddhism. It's all the teachings are level and equal. Can you understand that? Change the Dharma to lower cap. Do not do a capital D. This is correct. If you do a capital D, it's not wrong. But what I want to teach you is go beyond the capital D. If you really understand, You don't need to discriminate anymore. Because everything is expedient. He just said it himself. He says, Mahayana expedient. So expedient meaning we could use many, many things to teach Buddhism. You could use mathematics, you could use psychology, you could use geometry, you could use engineering, you could use whipping, you can use anything to teach Mahayana. Is that clear? So it doesn't have to be Buddha Dharma only. He says, the Dharma is level and equal with the highs and lows, meaning do not think yourselves better than Tibetan Buddhism. Don't think yourselves better than non-Buddhist things, okay? Because if you really have that kind of attitude, you think Korean Buddhism is better or American Buddhism is better, then you don't understand the Dharma yet. Does it help? Okay? What Master Yong is teaching is correct. Unfortunately, let me remind you, the Buddhists only look at it as a Dharma, like the people in charge of the translation here. They are not wrong, but I want to bring them to the next level, the Dharma. Okay? At low level, you see the Dharma is capital D. At Master Yong's level, the Dharma is with small d. Trust me. Okay? Next. What suits your condition is true. What suits your condition is good. What does not suit your condition is not good, is not true. I wouldn't go this much, this far. It's too much. Okay? Now he's confusing it, I would even not talk like this. But what he was saying is not true. It's not untrue either. Anyway, can we skip this? I'm tired of contradicting my master. Okay? This is for babies. Okay? So he says, you call it true because it suits you. That's what you call it true. It's interesting. He says you have a bias. When you like it, when it serves you, you call it true. Okay? But actually, it's an attachment to your liking it, to your agreeing with it. All right? But this is why I will not go here, because go this way, because then you have to explain more and more and more and more and more. There's no end to this. Okay, because he cannot stop at here. What suits your condition is true. Okay? But also what suits your condition is also untrue. See, this is why I would not go here. You ask me, what suits your condition is untrue. To another person, but it's probably true to you. You see, it has complications, because what he said, which is said here, is correct. What he said here is beautiful, okay? And then he kills it with this. You boys and girls understand this. You get my point or not? He shouldn't have. I'm trying to tell you that. One day, when you get there, you see that this should be dropped because it kills everything else before that. He did a great job explaining the difference between Hinayana and Mahayana Buddhism, and I'm going to tell you, this is beautiful, okay? He says again, let me explain. I want you to remember this. Tonight, there's a lot of talk. Too many disruptions, many distractions. Wow, you still haven't unbuckled yet? I'm impressed. This guy is tough. He's a man. Okay, what he says is very, very interesting to me. He says, you want to look at Hinayana people? They're not stubborn, they're rigid, stiff, okay? Very conservative. That's the characteristics of those people. Next, he says, whereas Mahayana, okay, expedient meaning is no rigidity. Okay? Sometimes you scream, sometimes you smile, sometimes you make a face, sometimes you hide your face. Okay? It's all over. You cannot tell. That's why it's called expedience. You think that you come and expect, that Master will smile at you, Master will say someday yell at you. Bad day. Put it down. Okay? You got that? Okay? So it's beautiful. The way he explains the difference from his perspective, I love it. Between his views of Hinayana versus Mahayana, it's beautiful. It's rigid and expedient meaning flexible. Okay? You push it, it bends. And flips right back. Got that? Okay? That's why it's rigid, not stubborn. Okay? And the other one is, what is it? What do you use? Conservative, meaning, no, the range is very narrow. Okay? Yeah. Whereas in Mahayana, it's open. It's wide open. Okay? And the stress. And this is why I yelled at XZ earlier, because you have to learn to make it clear when you communicate. Don't be afraid. I disagree. I don't understand. Let me see if I understand. There's so many ways for you to see it, to say it without offending people, softening the blow. But you can simply stand your ground and say, I'm not sure I understand this. You can pretend to be like, instead of, Master, you're wrong. You should say, Master, I think I don't quite understand it. Right, Hong? Okay? So there's so many ways to express yourself. Don't always be, Master, I am me. There's no me. Okay? There's bad days me and good days me. Okay, so it's open. So you're open-minded. You're not stubborn. You're not rigid. You're open-minded. And you express yourself clearly. Okay? Why? Do you know why he says Ming? I want to dwell on that. Ming, they clear here because you want to avoid making people think. If I speak Dharma to you and make you think, it's by design. No, never mind. Can I take it back? Okay, clear is that you want to minimize thinking. Okay, because in contrast to Vietnamese communications, Chinese communications, they sort of talk on the side. They don't want to be confrontational, if you will. Okay? Yes, white hair guy.
Beautiful Master. I think we have something similar in technical that we normally say that I'm
Who's
not.
we?
That us who are the engineer.
Okay.
If somebody says something or make
Speak
some
clearly,
statement,
man.
Statement.
I mean, we is unclear.
We normally say that.
They say we.
I often say that I'm not disagree with you. That the statement we say or we write out like that. So you say something, I'm not disagree with you.
What does it mean?
It means that you can do it your way. That's okay. And then I understand. If it's me, then
I want to know clearly. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm not disagree. I'm not disagree with you.
Are you agreeing?
I didn't say that I agree,
No, my
but
question is,
I'm not disagree with you.
Do you agree? It's only yes or no. Do you agree or you disagree? I mean, how can these people let them get away with this?
Because there are multiple ways to skin a cat, and the way you do, I'm not disagree with it. That's how we do it. You know. Is it the
Engineers are wimps. I don't like engineers. Just to say, I disagree. However, I may be wrong. That's a lot more humble. I don't disagree with you. It's so vain, you know. I'm an engineer too. I don't disagree with you. God, that's disgusting. And he's so proud of it. Can we be clear? I say, I disagree, but I could be wrong. That's how you say it. Okay? Make it clear. I disagree. You need to make it clear. That's what open and clear. That's what Mahayana is about. You still Hinayana. Open and clear. Open meaning I speak my mind. Open meaning here's my mind. Look at it. Okay? Does it help everyone? This concept is very important, folks. That's Mahayana. You Hinayana people, you still are covering up. I don't disagree with you, but feel free to do whatever you want. God, this wimps language. Okay? You understand? This is beautiful. This is so Mahayana. Okay? You never know which experience meaning it. You know, sometimes it's like mommy will beat you up, but mommy loved you. Slap her. They're the weirdest couple in the temple. I don't get it. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Master, to my understanding from what you are explaining, and for me to understand experience, would it be open, expansive, and clear?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm sorry, Master.
I am peace. If you don't understand, please just memorize it. Okay? I don't expect you to be able to understand right away. I'm just saying that the words of the sages like Master Shenhua, it's very, very profound. I want you to understand these key concepts that you can look and shine it as a standard, a reference point for you. I want you, old man, for example, look at people. Look at Hinayana people. You see that they're rigid, not stubborn. They're very rigid and very conservative. That's how you can tell right away. Not just monks, nuns, but people. People, when we're trying to teach people, talk to them and see if they're rigid and they're conservative. They're Hinayana roots. This is very important, folks. You only go so far, okay? Whereas Mahayana, okay, they are all over the place as expedients, okay? And it is open and clear, because if you want to teach people, you need to connect with them. You need to be open-minded, okay? Excuse me. And you need to speak your mind. Don't worry about people not liking you and liking you, whatever. Look at Jumi. Yeah, you have a question?
Give me a chance. 마스터께서 예전에 화엄경 프롤로그에서 설명을 하셨을 때 그 보살의 단계를 설명하시면서 팔찌보살이 방편지를 사용할 수 있다고 말씀하셨었어요. 네.
Master, in your prior Avatamsaka Sutra lecture, prologue lecture, you said in Bodhisattva's levels, the 8th ground Bodhisattva can use the experience.
네, 지금 여기에서 대승이 방편을 갖고 있다라고 했는데 그러면 대승의 수행자가 팔찌보살 이상이었을 때 이 방편법을 사용해야 되는가인가가 제 질문인.
So my question is that we are Mahayana practitioners, and if this practitioner want to use experience, then you have to be over 8th ground to use this experience.
그러니까 마스터께서 좀 전에 잠시 전에 설명하셨던 것처럼 지혜가 없는 상태에서 방편은 약간 포장된 자기 합리화일 수 있다고 생각하거든요. 네.
So I think if you use experience when you don't have wisdom, then maybe you're just justifying yourself.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, Vietnamese drop this la here. Okay, this is la here. Yeah. Shu here refers this Dharma, the Dharma that I'm teaching you. This is from a teacher perspective. Shu Fa Ding Deng. This Dharma I'm giving you, I'm teaching you. It comes from a Buddha, comes from a patriarch. Shu Fa, this Dharma I'm giving you. Okay, Pháp bình đẳng, not la. There's no la. Don't ask me how to say it in Korean. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah.